This is the Jisulife Fan Life7 and I'm quite interested to review this fan because unlike the other fans, this one has a fan head that is adjustable and it also has neck straps included inside so that you can hang around your neck. But are these two the only features that stand out for this fan? What about things like fan speed, battery life and portability? That's what we'll find out in this video. If you're new to the channel, welcome here. My name is Chevelle and I help you decide whether a product is worth your money or not. I paid for this fan with my own money, so whatever you're hearing are my true opinions and they are not what sponsors want you to hear. I promise by the end of this video, you will know whether this fan is the right one for you, so be sure to stick around to the end. So without any further delay, let's get started. Now let's first talk about the most unique thing about this fan, and that is the adjustable fan head. One of my complaints with the standard handheld fan is that I cannot change the wind direction when I lay it on the table. With this adjustable fan head, I can tilt the fan head so that the wind is directed at my face even when it's laid flat on the table. Jisulife claimed that it has 150 degrees of tilt, and this has eliminated the need for any other attachments when I use it. Another complaint that I have with the standard handheld fan is that I can't type on my phone with two hands in standing because one of my hands has to be holding the fan at all times. Jisulife has provided a neck strap to keep the fan around the chest area, and because the fan head can be tilted to 90 degrees, the fan can continue to blow wind at my face without holding it. I can also adjust the strap to be shorter so the fan is closer to me and the wind becomes stronger. I noticed that with a shorter strap, the fan will not move around as much and it stays in place better. When you try to walk faster and the strap is long, the fan will shake quite a bit and end up being out of position. The joint between the fan head and body is quite sturdy, there's no unwanted movements and it takes some force to bend it as well. I seriously wish that more fans come with this adjustable fan head because it fixes two of my biggest complaints about regular handheld fans. I think this single feature makes this fan a lot more practical than even the higher end Jisulife fans. One small feature that I would have liked is for the base to be flat instead of rounded so that it can stand upright on its own and I would be able to tilt it downwards to cool my drinks, for example, without having to find something to stack on. But that is just a small feature request, not a deal breaker to me. The next most important thing you should know is the fan speed. Jisulife claimed that this fan can produce winds up to 20 feet per second or 6 meters per second, which translates to about 21 kilometers per hour or 13.4 miles per hour. Even though the claimed wind speed is lower than the slightly more expensive Life9 model, I actually feel that the wind on this fan is stronger. At level 1 fan speed, I can still feel a fair amount of wind even at 1 arm's length away. At level 5 fan speed, the wind gets quite strong and I feel like it is about 80% of the maximum wind speed on the more expensive Pro 1S model. There was no overheating and sudden shutdown at maximum fan speed, and the body of the fan stayed at around room temperature the whole time. I think that the really large fan head really plays a role in being able to generate a stronger wind, and in fact the fan head is even bigger than the ones on the Pro 1S model. With a larger fan head, you can fit larger fan blades inside it and therefore it can push more wind and distribute the wind over a bigger surface area. In fact, the Life9 model has a really small fan head and small fan blades, which makes the wind really concentrated at one area instead of being widespread, and it just feels quite weak overall. This one is definitely pretty strong for the price that Jisulife is asking for. The next important thing is the noise level because trust me, if a fan is too loud, you wouldn't even want to bring it out at all. At level 1 fan speed, this fan is quite quiet and the noise has a low pitch to it, so it is not disruptive at all. It is definitely usable in an uncrowded bus, although it is not quite quiet enough to use in a library. Again, I think that the quieter noise is because of the larger fan head, because the Ultra 1 and Life9 models both have a much smaller fan head and they produce a high-pitched sound, which is more disruptive. Here is a sound test with some of my other fans for you to listen to. Now, when it comes to battery life, Jisulife's claims on the battery life of this fan is basically all over the place. Under the specification tab on the website, it claimed 4 to 24 hours of use for the 5000 mAh model, which is basically the one that I'm holding in my hand right now. But on the packaging and marketing material, it claimed 3.5 to 19.5 hours of use. So I tested the battery life myself in an indoor environment under room temperature, and I found that at 1% fan speed, it took 19 hours and 5 minutes to drain the battery fully. At 100% fan speed, it took 3 hours and 39 minutes to drain the battery fully. As for charging, this fan charges via USB-C, and Jisulife claimed that it does fast charging. On the website, it says that it will take 4 to 5 hours to charge fully. In my own testing, it took around 3 hours and 32 minutes, so it is actually faster than expected. It charges at roughly 10 watts of power according to my Ugreen power bank, so I don't think it actually does fast charging because the higher end Pro 1S and the Ultra 1 models can charge at 18 watts. The wattage decreases over time as it gets closer to the maximum fan speed, which is normal because this helps to preserve the longevity of the batteries. However, it did feel quite warm at the neck area, but it starts to cool down over time as the charging wattage decreases. Now let's talk about portability. The portability of this fan is not the best because it has a long body and a fan head that is larger than the one on the Pro 1S. So it does occupy quite a bit of space inside my Kanken backpack and the smaller Bellroy sling bag that I have. The body is slim enough to fit into the umbrella compartment of my Kanken backpack, as well as the elastic pouch at the strap of my hiking bag. Here is a comparison with other Jisulife fans and also some other objects I have with me, so you can have an idea how its size is like. When it comes to build quality, the body of the fan is made of rigid ABS plastic. The fan blades, the buttons, and the vents at the back are all made of plastic. The gaps on the vents are bigger than other Jisulife fans, and children with really tiny fingers might be able to get through it, or maybe someone with manicured fingers and has really long nails, they might be able to put the nail through the vents. The vent is actually removable by unscrewing the screw at the bottom. That way you can clean the fan blades if it ever gets dusty. Frankly, the dust problem did not come across my mind until I saw this fan, which makes me wonder how am I going to clean the vents on my other Jisulife fans, which don't have removable vents. As for the screen, it is big enough and it's easy to see the numbers when indoors. Under bright sunlight, it is more difficult to see, but you can always just use your hands to give it some shade to see it more clearly. When you switch it on, the first number that pops up represents the battery life. After about 5 seconds, it changes to show the fan speed. If you want to check the battery while using it, all you need to do is just press the front button twice. When the battery drops to 10%, a blinking warning will appear, and when it is charging, a charging symbol will appear. The controls on this fan is pretty straightforward. To switch on the fan, you first have to switch off the safety lock at the back by sliding it to the right side. This helps to prevent the fan from accidentally switching on while it's in your bag. After disabling the safety lock, just give the front button a firm press and the fan will be switched on. The fan speed always starts at the lowest level and there are 5 levels of fan speed. Just keep pressing the front button to get to the higher fan speed. Now here comes the most important question of this review. Do I think that this fan is worth it? I think this fan is a good budget alternative to the Pro 1S because it has a similar level of maximum fan speed and battery life, and it is also quite quiet. The hands-free feature and the adjustable fan head is something that I really like, and I wish more portable fans have this feature. If you don't mind the slower charging speed and the larger size of this fan, then I think it is a good fan for the price, and I don't think you will regret getting it. If you have a bigger budget and you want the best all-rounder fan from Jisulife, why not check out my review of my favorite Pro 1S model and find out why I like it so much. I hope I managed to keep my promise and answer all the questions that you have about this fan. If you still have any questions, drop them down in the comment section below and I'll be sure to answer them because I read every single one of the comments. Thank you guys for watching and I'll be waiting for you in the next video. Bye bye.